and crochet evening. I was cleaning up the house, found another whip that I didn't show while in progress. This is the skirt. Well, this will be a skirt made with the Roselia squares. I've started it about 7 years ago. As you can see, lots of stuff happening, and most of it never gets finished. So I had these 3 bands. As you can see, lots of dog hair because it was lying in the back. It's all rubbish crochet stuff. So I got 3 bands, and I just started another. There will be, I hope, because I remember I was making 5 of them. So this was the 6th. So this is planning to be the. I don't know how many I have to make because it depends on the template. The skirt will be these bands. I don't know. Still, I have to do the layout first, and in between it will be joined like this. It's just a sample, or maybe it will be joined with everything, every single one. Maybe, I don't know if I'll make the distance smaller or maybe longer. It's still in plans, but generally I wanted to make the classic look, because just this is the thread is quite fine for the Roselia squares, and it'll be the thicker yarn like this. I mean, obviously the same color. I still have to find it in my husband's garage. You can see the thread difference. This one is slightly thicker. So the main motifs will be made with this type, not the color, and the filling will be done with this. I'm using the same thread for the night garden top that I'm making, usually making on streaming. But today I'm not gonna do that because I've almost finished it and I still have to do the hemming, and I'll probably do that tomorrow, make a video. So generally the skirt will look like this. So this is the top row. This would be just the row of trebles with the holes for the what's the word? Well, for the band to tie a bow, and that would be it. The motifs and with the filling will be done. I haven't decided whether it would be the regular one or I would use the classic French filling with peacoats. We'll see how things are going, but this is just as a starter. And since I have nothing to stream about, I just decided to make roses for this part. I was preparing it and I forgot to take it out. So I'll be doing these classic roses for the hibiscuses. This would represent the stamina, which is just pops out of the flower, you know, just before the flower opens. Is just a little bit sticking out, the pollen thing sticking out with the pistil. And these flowers, the petals are still not open, so they can ruffled up around. So that I'll be making this. Since I'm making them with the 5 petals, and I use 3 stitches for the petals themselves, I'd make 5 chains. I've done 3 main colors, so I would probably start with cream. I haven't decided yet. We'll see as it goes. So I'll do 5 chains, 2, 5, and loop it into the first, 3 chains, and I make 14 trebles. In British terms, that would be double in American. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Now I do the slip stitch into the third chain. Just because this this center is very tiny, it's very difficult to work with it. So I make 4 chains. One of them is to go up the level to the level of a double, and 3 chains. So I skip 2 stitches, and I make a double or single. Another 3 chains, skip 2, make double, 2, 3, double. So oh, anyway, it will be good. It will be hidden under the next row. Must have stained it somewhere. And cut. The beginning tail is already fixed within the circle. And so which one I should start? Probably this one. Or maybe red. Just because this one was stained, and I'm not really sure if it's just the pencil, the pen, or the pomegranate juice. Could be that. Or maybe not. So I don't want it to stain the light yarn. So I'll do the red one. And again, 1 chain up, 1 double, 5 trebles, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the double. This also creates this little thing of yellow appearing, just like it would appear in a regular flower. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And since I'm almost finished the top, I've allowed myself, as I said, I pulled this out of my whips, so I can work on that too while I'm working on the skirt, the November garden. This is the motifs that I made. So the set of motifs is almost ready, and tomorrow I'll be doing the final layout on the template, and I'll pin them. So probably this Wednesday I will stream about basting, and will be on Friday we'll be ready for the filling. And again, once I do the filling, we'll have a quick look of what's happening underneath. With this night garden skirt, I'll probably do the crown hemming. It's not just one, but the double crown, The usual crown makes a loop and 2 picots, and this would be 1, 2, and 3. So that would be interesting to make, because usually what I do, I use either the row of roses or shamrocks all in one line as a hemming, so I don't work on that. But with this project I want to make a really nice and classic look. Rudy, he ate 2 hours ago, and now he's just hinting that he would like to have some more. He brought me his toy. And I can cut this part. I hope you enjoyed the video that I published yesterday with the leaves. Oh, no problem, I just started. I was just showing the rose leaf squares that I'm planning to make for the skirt. This is the drawing. Probably the first skirt, the first thing I started with a drawing, because usually I find a nice motif and I just pile it up, add some more, and never know how the project will look like in the end. So here we have 6 chains, as always. Remember, the first chain is always getting up to the level of the double crochet here, and the next is 4, and this wrapping double. So you insert, instead of inserting into the stitch, I do it, insert the hook under the loop, still haven't found out what's the name of it. We call it wrapping. And now this time I will be making 8 trebles. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and double. And so it goes like this. That's the most boring part of making the lace. There's no new motifs, just a bunch of classic Irish roses. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So yesterday I've mounted the video, and as I was mounting, I realized I was talking about from the name of my other channel, which is the Big Lady of the Small House, the mushroom hunting one. So if you're interested in the mushrooms that we find in our forests, you can check it there. There's a playlist called Mushroom Hunting. 2, 4, 6, and 8. You know, I'm a gatherer enthusiast, and then I just love walking around the forest and finding something. This not this one, but the last time I was there, I found the chicken of the woods and the liver mushroom. So I got them in my fridge, waiting for their time. 2, 4, 6, 8. And my husband is always looking at me while I'm preparing it for freezing. And he's always telling my kids, your mother will not die of natural cause. She will poison herself with anything that she chooses. but I find it's funny. Well, at least this time I found the parasol, the umbrella mushroom, and it really does taste like chicken. It's like you really thin the chicken breast and you fry it in the in crispy panning. It does taste like chicken. 2, 4, 6. So I also got some of the old mushrooms that are already spored, and I placed them in my garden to see if any of the spores would come up. Yeah, that was great. Yeah, that was great day. And for that day, I even borrowed a puppy, just because Rosie, he's mentally not really okay. He's not socializable with this. He's past abusive. I cannot take him into mountains, but a friend of mine who is a hunter himself, he took one of the puppies to train. So he always takes that puppy into the forest, and I had a great trip with the puppy on my laps, spoiling air. I don't know what he was eating, but he was, the gas attack was dreadful. But everybody enjoyed it because it's a puppy. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let me finish this counting and we'll continue with the mushrooms. 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's really strange that you see these stripes of red, but I don't see it on the skein. Where do they come from? See a little bit of red here. I don't know, camera doesn't catch it, but it's slight. Ah, I see. That's the thread from the basting. Yeah, so I always collect the mushrooms, and some of them that are already too old to eat, but are still good to bring spores. I bring them into my garden. And as my husband is laughing, you introducing one type of mushrooms, but this year I had the white champignons, Leica agaricus. No, not Leica agaricus, but it's a type of champignon, but it's got the white scales underneath. In the normal ones, it has pink turning to black. This one was white turning into cream. Still edible, but there was not too many, so I left it to breed. And this season I brought so many mushrooms, dug them up in the leaves and the foliage. I have chunks of old trees that are cutting branches, and I pile them up in one place, and I'm always trying to introduce the oyster mushroom there. So I got the puffballs there, the oyster mushroom, there's also a type of mushroom that it grows on the tree. It's like the chicken of the wood, also edible, but it's a round cup with it's like feathers on top of it. So yes, I'm trying to bring life into the desert where I'm living. Like 7 years ago, there's only sand and salt in the garden, but this year I have lots of foliage. The trees are growing really well, except the one place that I don't know what's happening. It's like there's something in here. Found the spot. There's I don't know what's happening to that place, but whatever I plant there, the tree dies. Just 2 spots. I was planting. Добрый день. Yes, they are. And as I said before, I'm trying to recultivate the soil. But this year it turns out to be nice. I've got the forest violet growing. It's already 3 years as it's growing fine. It wasn't growing before, but since my elm tree became big enough to leave lots of leaves, and my pomegranate trees are also getting bigger and bigger, so I got lots of foliage and lots of mulch, leaves for mulch. So I got this really nice. Oops, what I'm doing. Actually, that's okay. I'll leave it as it is. Leave it as it is, because I have the pink flower with yellow leaves, yellow petals, so it's okay. Or I'll leave it for another project. 2 and 5. So I'll probably make this one with a pink on the outside. Didn't do it pretty well, but I'll do it like this to pull it through. And now when I hide the pink thread, I can work with this one as a padding cord. So I don't know if you're interested in talking about mushrooms, but I don't know. I've told so many things about Irish crochet, so I think that one day we can chat about mushrooms. And since they are part. Yes. I've shown it a couple of streams ago. The kind of the salmon color, so it will be coming. I just have to finish the top that I'm making. It's 5. I have to finish the top that I'm making so I can make it another dress. Yes. So I was talking about the magic spots that nothing grows in there. As I said, I was planting the what's the word? Oh, I keep forgetting names. The pine tree, it died. The next year I planted the cherry tree, it died. Then I planted the not the let's call it, oh God, forgot the name, but something like the oak, it died. But the other oak that grows well, really well, it's about 2.5 meters tall, growing in another part of the garden. And this season I planted the orange rabinia. We call them orange acacia, but it's actually in fact rabinia. And it died. But the only thing that grows there is garlic. Garlic there is perfect. So probably next season I won't need to buy garlic, as I planted so much. You can see in my fingers so much stuff like potatoes and garlic. 4, 6, 8. This season the winter here is very mild, so I planted in November, so it comes up really end of March, and I don't have to worry. Yes, there was a black walnut as well, but it didn't last for that much. It's just a half a year. I brought the plant, and it died away straight away once the summer started, so it died straight away. But 1 meter away from that, everything grows perfectly, but it's just 2 spots, like 2 meters apart. And let's say there's one place and two spots, like 2 meters apart. Nothing grows in here, but half a meter from it, white rabinia grows perfectly. 1 meter away, there's what's the pomegranate tree, and I've got cherry growing here, not cherry, pear tree, and I have another pomegranate tree growing here, and got lots of stuff growing on, and I got the olive, but these two magic spots are empty, so nothing grows in there, and I don't know why. But the walnut tree was in the area where the oak is growing now, and everything is growing fine there without any problem. But I don't know, we just call it magic spot. So this year I planted just over here I planted potatoes and garlic here, garlic everywhere, and I will try to plant the pumpkin and watermelon. I'll have to get the border because I've got a tortoise which is eating everything that is planted there. I think it eats my tomatoes, 4, 6, 8. It eats my radish. It's my celery and everything. Just whatever I plant in there, everything is eaten. And we got through these, likes to make a toilet out of that place, so I have to clean up every day. So in the spring I plan to buy the these little plastic borders, like look like wooden stuff. So I'll make the border around that, and I'll make sure that nothing is eating or pooping there. So I was working on that area, lots of compost and lots of the old soil from my hippiastrums. I was throwing there just because I said the soil here is 2 meters of salty sand. It's too hot for the raised beds. Too hot, the plants will burn. I've already tried that, it didn't work. But this, these borders, that would be okay, so you cannot get through. If the pumpkin or watermelon grows outside, it will be old enough to withstand the appetite of the tortoise, but it will be okay. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, so there'll be lots of things to be done in spring. It's Rosie barking. There are cats outside, so he's making sure he scares them away. Yeah, we have the up to 42 degrees in the shade, that's Celsius. So in the heat, it's about 60 degrees in the soil. So no raised beds. I usually in the summer I use the sun heat to sterilize the soil for my plants. So I just lay the bags around in a sunny spot, and I turn them from one side to another every like 3-4 hours. So I get the pavement heated up. So I get the back turned. So one side is heated and it keeps this heat from the pavement, and the other side is heating. Then I turn it around a couple of times so it gets through and kills all the pathogens, all the mites and insects that might be in the soil. So yes, no raised beds. Yeah, because with the hippiastrums you have to be really careful because the root mites are eating them like candies. I've had to throw away about 10 hippiastrums this season because it was eaten completely to the growth point with the root mites, and I've used about half a liter of acaricide just to treat the roots and base and the bulb itself. So it's 2, 4, 6, 8. And then finally yesterday I finished planting the last one. Well, there's still more in the house, but I've already have no heated soil. It's finished. The new batch that I ordered came a bit too late. It's too hot for us for peaches, unfortunately. Our neighbor planted, but for 10 years nothing grows in there. It does give a fruit, but when it's ready to ripen, just dries out completely. So it gets gets the stone with a tiny bit of dry. As I said, you don't need to buy the dehumidifier for fruits. You can just pick it up from the tree and just remove the stone, and you got the dried peach already on the tree. And he's just laughing at me. 6. And his wife is like, "Oh, you're always making fun of everything. Our tree doesn't grow anything." I said, "Well, you do." Yeah, I said, "You do have something. You don't need to preserve like me. Like I'm usually going to the whole market, just buy boxes of fruits, and I use the fruit dryer for those candy-like stuff. It's my kids love to drink tea with something sweet, and they got weight problems. So again, these dried fruits, and this is something I tried, one of the kilkelis, but I have to modify. That will be a video for tomorrow. And so I dry the fruits like, there's we call it nectarine. There's a peach without the fur on top. It looks like a plum, but it's actually a peach. So I dried them. Yeah, I have lots of that too. And I dried lots of strawberries. And I got this nectarines. Yeah, that's the nectarine. They're much nicer because, usually if you eat the peach, you get these little sores at the end of your mouth. And my kids don't like that. But the nectarine, they are fine. They're eating it all summer. So I dry them up for the winter. And we've already finished. There's one more jar left, and everything is gone. But strawberry left, so probably next year I'll do some more. Probably buy the second fruit dryer, because one is not enough. But buy the stuff. You blender it with a little bit of sugar and freeze it, and dry them. And I also make the liquor. A friend of mine gave me the perfect recipe of. I usually don't drink alcohol except of the white wine or maybe pink wine. So I don't like vodka or anything like that. I used to drink whiskey a lot, something like Lafroig and Blue Label and something like that. But yeah, Blue Label is delicious. It costs a fortune, but it's worth it. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So this season I tried that. This 300 grams of fruits, like strawberry, 1 lemon, and 200 grams of sugar. So you put all these crushed fruits that are not going into this blender stuff or the dried stuff. But they're still edible. They're not rotten, but just they're crushed and they don't look nice. So put it in the 3-liter jar. Usually it goes to something like 1 kilo. 1 kilo, so like 3 or 4 portions. So yeah, the 3 portions, it goes 1 kilo and 200 grams. So 3 lemons, you just squeeze the juice and add I remove all the bones, the stones, add it to the strawberry, add the lemon itself as well. Get some sugar, 200 grams of sugar per 300 grams of fruits, and soak it for overnight. And then you add 1 glass, which is 200 milliliters of vodka for each 300 grams. And you keep it for about 2 weeks. And the taste is so delicious. It's not very high in alcohol. It's very sweet, so it goes really well as a dessert. So next season I'm gonna do some more. 4, 6, 2, 10. But yeah, I've got to. It's everybody when I go to the party. There's this barbecue parties we have at summer. Everybody's asking, "Are you gonna bring your liquor?" Yeah, it is. It is really delicious. So I've tried that with the same recipe, but without lemon, just the fruits, with the plum, nectarine, and what was that? There's a plum, nectarine, and something else. Pears. It didn't turn out so nice, but without lemons. But it was still okay. It's everybody said you brought the compote, so it's just for me. Let's make it this way. I'm too concentrated on talking about alcohol today, so I'm losing count of everything. 2, 3, 4. That's 5. So these unopened flowers will be quite different, and I like that. 1, 2, 3. So it goes like this. It doesn't have to be regular. Oh, my camera, I'm just talking so much. My camera is overheating. Sorry, I think I have to say goodbye for today, as my camera is blinking here. So thank you for joining me tonight, and see you on Wednesday. Bye.